Siamese twin. What's your name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Give Jocelyn a round of applause. Okay, don't worry, it's really easy. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not gonna allow those. Give Natasha a round. Poor rabbit had such deformed teeth.
She had sharp, pointy teeth.
And elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. An elephant had a rabbit ear for just a second. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just hold right there. Nobody move. Because this rabbit has 4 teeth and half an elephant ear. The rabbit's like, my name is Peter Hoppin' Dumbo. What's your name?
Lynette.
Lynette, and what's your name?
John.
Give Lynette and John a round of applause. And the circle gets a little smaller. Okay, you ready? Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She tried to punch me. Ready? Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The horse died. It was like, I'm going to allow it. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that elephant is part of the Nazi party. I'll allow it. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was awesome. She was laughing and came up as a rabbit. Insanity. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trying to deform that rabbit. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And she's doing it because she doesn't want to hit me. It's all right now. It's okay. It is fine. We know ways to make him talk. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Donkey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's your name?
That's what I was waiting for.
Give Nicole a round of applause.
That's what I was waiting
We haven't done donkey at all.
Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Garrett. Give Garrett a round of applause. Oh, take half a step back. You guys take half a step back. Hey, just don't punch me. I've gotten elephant punched before. It's no fun. I don't like it. Elephant. No. I meant rabbit. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's your name? Katie. Give Katie a round of applause. I had to put her out of her misery. She was laughing too much. That was one of my favorite moments, though. She was like, I've never seen someone do that before. All right, elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, just in the nick of time. It was like a transporter. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a step back. Rabbit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just move one step back. Just a little further. Elephant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just one more step back. Horse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they did it. Give them all did donkey once.
I didn't even notice it.
I've hurt your head?
No, I didn't even notice it.
All right. Yeah, it makes my head hurt too.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny. You guys are good at stuff. So you notice that when you have an objective that's strong and you're in a space that has an ambiance of play, meaning it's okay to play, which would be the fourth and probably most important quality of acting that you're going to develop. You have to have a sense of play. As soon as everybody knew we're just playing, people were like, you know, normally on stage people go, I don't know what to do with my hands, I feel weird, but in this donkey game they're like, it doesn't matter, you throw your body into it completely, which is the essence of acting, being completely unaware of what you are doing and just trying to achieve your objective, just trying to get that point across. And if you have to do a presentation in school, find a real reason that you want to give the presentation. Like really, find the real reason you want to do it. Even if it's a stupid present, like they say, and you're like, I hate this presentation. I don't want to do this presentation. Well, find a reason, find something, change it, ask your teacher. Can I do it like this? Can I do it like that? I want to do something different. Because if you can find that real reason to do a presentation, you can end up getting up on a stage or in front of a group of people and really shining. And I'll tell you this, there is a difference in the world between people who are able and willing to speak in front of groups and people who are not. Now, not everybody can speak in front of a group. Some people who are absolutely terrified of it, I don't think they should have to do it. Because I think that's like asking someone to land an airplane who can't fly. It's like, no, don't ask them to do that. Have them present it in a different way. A lot of times those people who are terrified to get up and don't want to are people we call writers. And writers get up in front of an audience in a different way. And certainly in the internet, we know what it's the internet age, we know what it's like to get up in front of an audience as a writer. You do it when you're like, I totally had chicken nuggets today, Facebook post, and everyone's like, chickens are evil, McDonald's is terrible. You're like, I just was saying something. So you get up on a stage every time you interact with social media, which makes it ever that much more important for you to be kind to people. Be a good audience member. One of the things I tell people, if you want to be a good audience member, a subtle nod of the head, yes, makes it like, oh, now you're all doing it. Oh, yes. You all think I'm smart. That's not so subtle. But in classes, in classwork, in college work, in a meeting with your boss, just subtly nodding your head yes says to the person who's listening, oh, they appreciate, they affirm, I'm getting affirmation from my audience, so that I'm like, oh, wow, I must be doing good. And if you're the one in the meeting nodding yes to your boss, the boss is going to be like, well, Jared understands what I'm talking about, right? Be like, Jared's the man. I don't know, you're probably not named Jared, but I thought I'd
happen to be named Jared.
Oh, that's so weird. Awesome. So being a good audience member is part of the way you become a good actor. Being a good listener is another way you become a good actor, or a good presenter, or a good performer. Are there any questions? Where's my phone go?
It's on the table.
Stop telling me what to do! I'm kidding. You will now pick up the phone. Yeah, we're almost out of time. We got a couple minutes for questions. Yeah.
How do you get good at improv?
By practicing it.
How do you practice it?
Okay, there is an improv game we all know how to play. It's called charades, right? Charades is where I started improving. And then there's another improv game that everybody in the anime community knows quite well. It's called cosplay. Right?
True.
So you kind of know what the character is, and then everybody improvs all day. That's part of the reason you guys are such a good crowd for a workshop like this. You all know what it's like to be a character. Aside from that, taking an improv class will teach you a lot. I was a student of the Viola Spolin method of improv, which is a longer form of improv, which has to do with physically embodying and feeling the space you're in with your hands. It was a lot of like learning how to pretend like a child again. We spent the first maybe 16 weeks in class doing an exercise called a spacewalk. And a spacewalk was basically where you just got your body in contact with the space, just physically, and then eventually the instructor would say, now thicken up the space, and so the space would get thicker, And then eventually you would find yourself trapped under a boulder and you'd have to push the boulder over, and then, like images or ideas would come to you, feelings would come out of the space. And that's what we used to do as kids, As a kid, you could have a broken toothbrush and a little Dixie cup and be like on a space world with your amazing spaceship, And that's the essence of improv.
I still do that.
I still do that too. Yes.
For someone who's looking to get into voice acting like that, what kind of education or background or other experiences would you suggest that they work on?
Acting, just purely acting. Acting is the best training for voice acting. Other than that, you can do things like books on tape, acx.com. Anyone can sign up and set up their stuff and try to become a narrator for books on tape. It's a good way to practice sort of voice acting too. Yes.
They also have a book you were talking about, Viola Spolin. It's called Improvisation for the Actor.
Yeah, it's a good one. Improvisation for the actor and improvisation for the classroom, which were two of my texts that I use quite often. Yes.
Just from when I started improv, the first game that we played was something called Yes and. Have you ever played it?
And?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played that once actually.
Yeah, one of the sort of basic rules of improv is that you never say no to your partner, which we all know this implicitly if we've ever played guns, because it's like, I got you, no, you missed me. You're not saying yes and. It's way more fun if it's like, oh, and then one of you dies, right? So that's the essence of saying yes to your partner. So if your partner goes, oh, this rock is so heavy, and you're like, it's not a rock, it's a duck. Quack. Actually, that's kind of good. Any other questions? Yes.
So have you ever been part of an improv troupe?
Yeah, we had an improv troupe in Chicago called the Dog Boys.
Oh.
And we performed for producers a show that was based on news articles, and we would improv. There was a lot of sort of vocalization improv, like improving the soundscape behind, or sort of improving the soundscape of the mind. There was like a Timothy McVeigh interview, and we would imitate the soundscape of what he was hearing in his mind and physically create the spaces with
Like
our
an
bodies.
example?
Like an example of what?
Oh, like doing the soundscape?
Oh, like there'd be 12 of you and someone would just add he'd be talking about his life growing up, on a farm, and someone would, and then someone would, and just add, then someone would, and then I would add like a cat throwing up.
Well, as a cat owner, I'm sure you know what that's like.
Just read the big
Yeah, that'll be great. Here's a question.
Can you do that in dogs?
Is there like a dog vomiting? No, they usually just are like, oh.
That's true.
I'm a dog. Oh, it's good. They do.
No, it's true.
Just curious, do you still happen to have the paper that excuses you from murder from the FBI?
It doesn't excuse me from murder. It exonerated me for the murder of Wade Meisberger. That's it. I keep thinking your hat is a hand. Any other questions? All right, thanks guys. You've been awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. I will be at my table in the dealer's hall tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then signing, I think, till 1, and then I have another signing and something else, I'm not sure. But you can find me in the dealer's